My name's Emma Thompson. I'm the Liaison Librarian for Management, and I'm going to go over how you can find the best quality scholarly articles online using the resources of the library. When you're finding resources for your assignment, your reading, for your coursework, you need to get the mix right. And that means having really good quality resources that you read and help inform your work. And it's like a recipe. And for most of the work that you'll be doing at university, that recipe has should have a very high proportion of scholarly articles, the best quality research that you need to read and will help inform you and do better in your assignments. And that mix will depend on the sort of work you're doing. If you're looking at market research, you'll need to have those reports in there. If you're doing a financial assignment, you'll need company information. But for all of the assignments that you do, you'll need to have some scholarly articles there. So what is a scholarly article? Well, they go through what's called the peer review process. And that means that when an academic disseminates their research, when they want to publish their research, they submit it to a journal. And the journals then send that research to experts, and those experts could be right across the world, who check and double check the research, check its quality, check the references, check the data, and only when that's gone through that review of peers, of experts, then is it allowed into the publication and it's published. Sometimes this can take a while. It can sometimes slow down the dissemination of research, but it's a very important part of the academic process. Here's some of the journals that the University Library subscribe to, some of the periodicals. There'll be some familiar titles there, Financial Times, for example, and also some peer-reviewed journals. So, for example, there we've got the Journal of Business and Psychology. That's a peer-reviewed academic journal. Whereas The Economist, it's a really important periodical, an important magazine to read to keep up to date with what's happening in the world as a business student. But it's not peer-reviewed, it's not an academic publication. Harvard Business Review is somewhere in between. It publishes peer-reviewed articles, but it also publishes news articles and practitioner-facing articles. So it's a mixture. It's quite unique. But something like Business Week, again, that's a magazine. That's not peer-reviewed. So these are all important sources for business students, but not all of them are academic and not all of them are scholarly. And you'll need to get the mix right when you're writing your assignments and your coursework. Even within journals, there is a ranking, just like football ranking, just like the league tables. There are league tables of journals, and your lecturers, the academics in the management school, their aim will be to publish their research in the top quality journals. For business studies, there is a ranking published by the Association of Business Schools, and that's published every 2 years. And you can see here, just for general management, there's the top journals that are ranked for general management, and those are all ones that we subscribe to here in the University of Liverpool Library. If your lecturer has advised you to look for a specific journal that's key in their area, in the area of your module, the easiest way to find it is just to go straight to our catalogue and type in the title of that journal. So here I'm looking for the Journal of Marketing. So often in your module information there will be a list of journals that are the key journals to look at. So check those in the catalogue. That'll take you through to the publisher, and you can navigate to the most recent issues of that journal and see what articles are being published. So it's a really good way of keeping up to date with the latest research, is to go straight to those key journals. Don't do that on Google. That's because if you go through the library site, you'll be authenticated as being a student, as being a member of the university community. If you just Google Journal of Marketing, you'd get through to the publisher page, but it wouldn't allow you to access any full text because they don't know who you are. We pay a great deal of money subscribing to the top quality peer-reviewed journals. The library pays for that so that you can access that content free. So go via the library, not via Google, and you'll get through to the content that you're entitled to because you're a University of Liverpool student. Sometimes you don't know which journal you want to find, but you want to look by subject. And the best ways of doing that here in the library to get started are by looking at Business Source Premier and Discover. Business Source Premier, as its name suggests, is a specialist business database. Discover is our catch-all database. It's a bit like Google for academic articles and library articles. You can search across many different databases at once with one search interface, and it'll allow you to access lots of high quality content. Before you search though, you need to have a think about what you're going to search for. Here's an example of a typical essay title in business. And you can see what I've done is highlighted the keywords from that title, and also around it I've thought about some other words and some phrases that would be useful for finding information on this subject area. This is called exploding, and it helps you to think about the different words that would be useful, about synonyms, about phrases. You can do this almost as a mind map by writing your title in the centre of the page and then around it thinking about the keywords that you can use. Then you can link those keywords and search. I see a lot of undergraduate students particularly typing in the whole of their essay title into Google or into Discover. That's not going to be productive. Those search engines are looking for a combination of keywords, and that's how you'll find the best results. When you do a search, whether it's on Google, Google Scholar, Discover, you'll normally get one of two outcomes. You'll either get far too many results, so you'll need to make your search more specific, or you just don't get enough at all, or occasionally none, and then you'll need to make your search more general. And in order to do this, you can combine your keywords to help you get the best results. For example, by using "and" between your keywords, you can narrow down your search. So you add more words to narrow down your search. So in this case, supermarkets and globalization. If you want to widen out your search, for example, if you're looking at synonyms, you can use "or" as the operator. So here I've got two ways of describing a similar thing: social media or social networking. So it's looking for either of those terms and it widens out my search. And then less frequently you'd use the combining operator "not." So in this case, apple, not fruit. I'm interested in Apple computers and not in apples and agriculture and cider, that sort of thing. So here's an example of combining keywords in practice. Here I've got the phrase human resource management. I've put quotation marks around that phrase because it was searching for just that phrase and not the individual words within it. And I've added the term diversity, so diversity in human resource management, and I'm going to search that on Discover. So here's another one. Should a corporation care and protect the natural environment? Which keywords would you use? You might think about corporation and think about synonyms for corporation, company, for example. Natural environment. Environment is a key word that you can pull out. You might want to think about green as a keyword to look for, because lots of companies describe themselves as being a green company or having green aspects to their work. You can see how you could pull out lots of different keywords for this phrase and search for example, companies and green, or corporation and environment, because the words should and care and protect are less important than the keywords corporation and natural environment. So just to recap about Discover. Discover, when you search it via the main library webpage, will search across lots and lots of different databases, including medicine, dentistry, engineering databases. If you go via our LibGuide page, you'll search Discover Social Sciences, so it just helps narrow down what you're searching a little bit. And this will search our Liverpool collection of books and the journals that we subscribe to. So it does search through our back book catalogue as well, and that can be very useful. A key thing to do when you're searching via Discover is to look at the Refine Your Results option on the left hand side, and you can refine your results, you can see there, to scholarly journals. You can also refine by date, so that's really important just to check that on the left hand side of your screen to narrow down your results. Business Source Premier is our subject-specific database for business. You can see I've got the front screen up there now. It's a bit more complicated than Discover, which has a Google type search. Business Source Premier allows you to make lots more options before you search. So for example, you can click to search scholarly peer-reviewed journals before you search, and then you can enter your search terms and click to search. It also allows you to filter by document type before you search. So you could search just for company reports or for case studies before you search. So whereas with Discover you do your filtering after your search, with Business Source Premier is more traditional in a way. You do your filtering before. It's a bit like Business Source Premier is like driving a car that's got gears. So you're in control. You can choose what you're searching for. You can search in particular fields, search for an author, search in a title. Whereas with Discover, it's a bit like driving an automatic. It does all of that sort of filtering in the background for you, and then allows you to do a bit more filtering after your search. So choose whichever suits you. Discover does search across a wider variety of subjects than Business Source Premier, but you need to know how to use them both. So just to recap, when you want to find relevant results quickly, use phrase searching. It's very useful for management students. There's lots of phrases that are combinations of quite common words, so if you search them without them as a phrase, you could get far too many hits. So here, for example, I've searched for strategic management and I've put quotation marks around it to search for that phrase. You need to combine keywords, and here I've combined retail and China. Another useful thing to do is to use a truncation, and here I've used the asterisk, and you can use that in most of our databases. So for example, manage with an asterisk finds manager, management, etc. So have a go for yourself now. Try using Discover and Business Source Premier. You'll find those via the library webpage. You go to Library, LibGuides, and then to Management, and you'll find Discover and Business Source Premier.